The best smart TVs feature everything you need in a modern smart TV, packing in 4K or 8K resolution, colorful HDR, and the all-round feature set to make for truly impressive performance. So, in today's video we will break down the top 5 best smart TVs in 2021 you can buy, and roll down to the link in the description box below to know more information and latest price update. Subscribe the channel and like the video if it helped you out in any ways, then hit the bell icon for getting notification for new update. Let's get started with the video. Starting up our list with the number 5, we have the Hisense H8G. The Hisense H8G is the best TV in the budget category that we've found out. It's a cheaper version of the Hisense H9G. Like its bigger brother, it also has a high contrast ratio and a full array local dimming feature to display deep blacks, making it a great choice for dark rooms. It has decent reflection handling and gets pretty bright, so you shouldn't have any issues with visibility in well-lit rooms. Its viewing angles are narrow, which means that the image looks inaccurate when viewed from the side. It has a good color gamut, with outstanding coverage of the DCI-P3 color space used in most HDR content. It gets bright enough to bring out some highlights in HDR content, though not as bright as its bigger brother. Its response time is good overall, so fast motion looks relatively clear, and it has a black frame insertion feature to further improve clarity. Low frame rate content like movies doesn't stutter much, and it can remove judder from 24p sources and native apps. Unfortunately, while its input lag is very low, it's limited to a 60Hz refresh rate, and it lacks VR support to reduce screen tearing, which might disappoint some gamers. Additionally, it cannot display 4K 60Hz signal with HDR on the Xbox Series X, although this may be a bug that might get fixed in a firmware update. It runs on Android TV, which is fairly easy to use and has tons of apps available. Overall, the Hisense H8G is a very good TV for most users. It's great for watching movies in dark rooms, thanks to its excellent contrast ratio and full array local dimming feature. The HDR experience is a bit limiting as it can't get quite bright enough to bring out some highlights. However, it has a good response time and very low input lag for gaming, and it's a good choice for watching TV shows or sports. Moving on at the number 4, we have the Vizio P-Series Quantum X. If you tend to watch a lot of HDR content, then the best TV for you is the Vizio P-Series. It's a premium TV that offers excellent picture quality and great performance for any use. It supports HDR10, HDR10+, and Dolby Vision, so you don't have to worry about which format your favorite HDR content is in. Its VA panel delivers extremely deep blacks, thanks to its fantastic contrast ratio and great local dimming feature. Black uniformity is incredible as there's minimal blooming around bright objects. It gets extremely bright, one of the brightest TVs we've tested, so it can make highlights stand out the way the creator intended in HDR. It has a very wide color gamut and excellent gradient handling, so you shouldn't notice any banding in most content. Sadly, the unit has a reddish tint that stays even after calibration, and we don't know if this is an issue with our unit alone, or a common problem. It also has narrow viewing angles, which is expected for a VA panel, so the image loses accuracy when viewing from the side. If you want to use it for HDR gaming, it has low input lag and a quick response time, but it only supports 4K 120Hz with HDR on the Xbox Series X, not the PS5. To finish, the Vizio P-Series perform a very bright and handles reflections well, making it a good choice for watching TV shows or sports during the day. It performs incredibly well in dark rooms, as it can produce deep and inky blacks for watching movies or playing video games. It has low input lag, a fast response time, and a high refresh rate to deliver an extremely responsive gaming and desktop experience. Unfortunately, its VA panel has narrow viewing angles, so it isn't the best option for wide seating areas. Next up at the number 3, we have the Sony Bravia X900H. The Sony's X900H series does everything it sets out to do as a smart TV, and in some style. Its picture quality is quite startling in the right circumstances, its sound is more than adequate by prevailing standards, it's simple to use and it doesn't turn its nose up at content of inferior resolution. The panel itself is a VA-type LCD, which in broad terms has to be considered an upgrade, on the IPS edge-lit panel that Sony deployed on last year's equivalent model. The higher brightness, greater color volume, and improved screen uniformity, promised by a full-array VA panel ought to more than make up for the rather more restricted viewing angle, when compared to IPS. And also note that, the X900H does not feature the X-wide viewing angle technology. The bezels enclosing that huge expanse of screen are slender and discreet, and the feet on which it stands are a similarly skinny flattened V-shape. It seems unlikely that this big TV will be anything other than wall-mounted, even taking its significant 33 kilograms weight into account. But, should an owner be in possession of a surface wide enough to stand it on, there's more than enough space below the bottom of the screen for a substantial soundbar. Depth of a touch more than 7 centimeters, mean that the Sony is not exactly skinny, but then its full-array local dimming arrangement is bound to add more than a millimeter or two. Overall, there's more than enough going on here to make you overlook the lack of HDR10+, and forgive Android TV its overconfidence. If you've this sort of money to spend on a smart TV of this sort of size, you absolutely have to audition it. The number 2, we have the LG CX series. The LG CX is the best TV on the market that we found out with an OLED panel. It's one of 3 4K OLED from LG's 2020 lineup, alongside the LG BX OLED, and the LG GX OLED. Considering the BX is only available in 55 and 65-inch sizes, and the GX costs more, then, the CX offers the best performance for its price. It's an excellent overall TV packed with features that should please most people. The main advantage of OLED panels is that they can individually turn off pixels to display perfect blacks, so they're amazing for darkroom viewing. There's no blooming around bright objects, and they also have wide viewing angles, which is great for wide seating arrangements. It displays a wide color gamut for HDR content, but its HDR peak brightness is just decent, so some highlights don't pop the way they should. For gaming, it has variable refresh rate VRR, and HDMI 2.1 support, extremely low input lag, and a near-instantaneous response time that results in smooth motion. Unfortunately, like any OLED, it may suffer from permanent burn-in if you constantly watch content with static elements, like leaving the news on all day. However, we don't expect this to be a problem for people who watch varied content. If you want to use it in a well-lit room, it doesn't get bright enough to combat glare, but luckily, it has outstanding reflection handling. Overall, the LG CX series is an excellent TV for most users that like OLED TV. It can produce perfect blacks, and has a near-instant response time. It also has FreeSync support, and G-Sync compatibility to reduce screen tearing when gaming. It's great for watching shows during the day as it has outstanding reflection handling, and wide viewing angles. The last product on our list is the Samsung QN900A Neo. When it goes on sale in May, the Samsung 8K TV will usher in a new era of television technology. Samsung's Mini LED sporting QN900A offers stunning picture quality, exceptional color and brightness, terrific sound and outstanding blacks, all in a package that's unmatched in terms of design. The first thing you'll notice is the TV's nearly non-existent bezel, which has been reduced to less than a millimeter, an achievement made possible by a new and exclusive matrixing technology that's said to shrink the space between where the pixels at the edge of the display end, and where the bezel begins. The TV's speaker grills can be found along its left and right edges, housing an 80W 6.2.2 channel system, that's 10 speakers in total. The stand is slim, flat and centered, meaning you won't need an especially wide surface to place the TV on. For the uninitiated, Samsung's Quantum Mini LEDs are 1/40th the thickness of a regular LED, meaning thousands of smaller LEDs can be packed together in a much tighter fashion, allowing for far more accurate dimming zones and black levels that are practically indistinguishable from an OLED. As the LEDs are far smaller, they're able to achieve far more precision and less blooming, so the act of seeing bright areas of the screen unnaturally bleed over into darker spots should be greatly reduced or not evident at all. And because it takes advantage of Samsung's multi-intelligence AI upscaling, the QN900A is consistently able to produce images that look better than their source. Not only does the Samsung QN900A Neo offer the latest HDMI 2.1 and eARC features, it's also ideal for gamers who've recently invested in a next-gen console, or beastly gaming PC. Thanks to support for 4K, 120fps, or 8K, 60fps gameplay, via HDMI 2.1, Game Motion Plus, and AMD FreeSync Premium Pro. That all for today and thank for watching.